So I believe that in so many ways I'm a conduit for the information from the Galactic Federation, but I believe that there are so many individuals on this planet who are also in direct or indirect contact with the Galactic Federation who are helping unify this planet as well.
I've always heard that there's this unwritten rule in the universe where they cannot get involved, that they cannot influence us.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So the Galactic Federation has to abide by the laws of the universe. And one of the greatest laws that they always teach me about is the law of non-intervention. So that's basically what you're talking about.
Right.
And the law of non-intervention just simply states that no being can override another being's free will. Free will is the greatest power that we all have within ourselves, whether on planet or off.
But if an asteroid were coming this way, they couldn't intercede and bump it out?
Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit more tricky. There are collective contracts for this planet. So just like I have a contract to be sitting here with you today, and that's all predestined based on what we planned for this lifetime, the collective of this planet also has contracts that were predestined.
Sure.
And so in that case, if something were to take place that was not in alignment with the highest good of the collective, then that is a case where it would go to one of the councils with the Galactic Federation. They would have to talk it over and basically decide, do we intervene or not? And if we do intervene, what kind of effects is this going to make long-term for the planet? And is this aligned to their highest contracts? And that's where a lot of human beings don't fully understand, why would God, why would the Galactic Federation allow for so much suffering on this planet? And that's a question that I get asked all the time. And my response to that is, I believe that suffering or challenge, whether it be at an individual or collective level, needs to be experienced in order for learning and growth to take place.
We've been through a lot over the last several years as a planet, more so than I can remember.
Yeah.
And it seems to be coming at us from all different angles all the time. Studies are showing that people have massive anxiety, they're under huge stress. Couldn't the Galactic Federation just wave their magic wand and say, I want all these diseases to go away, I want all these conflicts to go away? Why don't they do this?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there are a lot of solutions that they have in the form of different technologies, even DNA technologies or genetic technologies that they could very easily bring to planet Earth. I know there's a lot of people on planet Earth who are conduits of that information that are bringing that technology to planet Earth. But unfortunately, this planet has been so controlled, so suppressed by, say, the powers that be, that technology has not been allowed to be released. So that's kind of what's happening right now is there's this really huge battle that's taking place on the planet between the good forces, the bad forces, the light, the dark. And so we're seeing the shift take place finally. We're seeing a little bit more room and movement for these solutions to come in, but it is not up to the Galactic Federation to come down and save us because we are on our own path collectively.
It's our choice.
Yes.
It's our destiny.
Yes.
They meet sometimes all over the universe, don't they, including the moon?
Yes.
What do they do there?
Yeah, so my very first meeting with the Galactic Federation happened back in 2011, and this was shortly after my first abduction experience with the tall whites, and so that's the can of worm that opened for me. And I was greeted in my living room by a really beautiful 7-foot-tall astral being of a Palladian man. And he came through my wall and he said, Elizabeth, in 2 days' time, there's going to be a meeting. And it's going to happen at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is my time zone.
Sure.
And he said, you have to be awake for this. And that's all he said. And I said, what? Okay, this is crazy, All right, I'll do it.
You should be up listening to my radio show anyway, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so 2 days later, it was December 21st, 2011. I, woke up at 1 a.m. I chugged back a huge coffee. I was in university at the time, so I wasn't, I was very used to pulling all-nighters. And I started to meditate, and at 2 a.m. on the dot, this Palladian man came back into my room, and he said, okay, follow me. And I wasn't sure at that time if it was going to be physical, if it was going to be non-physical, but I was very used to remote viewing, astral traveling at that point. So when he left the room in a non-physical body, I knew that I needed to follow him in my non-physical body, my astral body. So I follow him, and we go out and further away from the planet. And it was my first time actually astral traveling, remote viewing off the planet. I didn't even know that was possible. I remember looking back at the planet thinking how beautiful it was. And so we go farther and farther, and he's going to the moon. And so I'm like, oh, cool, we're going to have this meeting, on the moon. And instead of going to some sort of base or building on the moon, he goes right into the moon. And to my knowledge, apparently, the moon is actually hollow, and it is being used as a Galactic Federation headquarters of sorts. And this is where there were hundreds of thousands of beings who were all inside this room in the moon. And this is where I was taught about what's taking place on planet Earth, who the human beings are, and who the Galactic Federation was.
Dr.